let's get started tonight. And, guys, I want to introduce somebody first before we get into a lot of different things, and we can hear about his story. And man, I can't tell you how much I got respect for this gentleman. I've known of this person for like ever, and his name always came up. It was crazy. I knew him without knowing him, right? And what happened was, uh, I went through some things in the last few months, and I got online, and for some reason, it's like that perfect moment where you see something I went on Facebook, and the first thing that came up on my feed was this picture, and I thought, you know what? I need to go talk to Robert, and I reached out to him, and then after a whole night of, visiting and being able to work together and, in the projects and stuff, this was just unbelievable. But I want to introduce Robert a little bit. He'll tell you, about his experience here, why, how to build, things like that, because you guys got a golden opportunity in your hands. I'm telling you what, you got the goose that laid the golden egg. Let me tell you, this here's a golden egg for sure, and you're going to hear why. So I'm going to introduce you, Robert. It's your stage, Robert Blackman.
Hey, thanks, Michael, and thanks for that second trip through Jack in the Box. I appreciate that. It was probably because I left the fries out. You always get mucked over when you go through the drive-through, right? Thank you for the great introduction. I'm excited to be here, excited to be a part of Essanté Organics with you, Michael, and your brother, Daniel, and with JJ. What a great leadership team. What a great company. What a great products. What a great compensation plan. And we always hear that. But there are things that are involved here that will get people to take action that normally have never taken action before. Just a little bit about myself. I'm 62, father of 5 great children, ages 12 through 29. I started late. I started when I was 33. Grew up in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, where there was a corporate town. There was a big oil company called Phillips 66. Every single one of my high school football, basketball, and baseball buddies, their father worked at Phillips 66. And there was a time when T. Boone Pickens and Carl Icahn came together, and they were trying to do an outbidding war to get Phillips themselves. And when that happened, they had to cut back, as they always do. And all of my best friends' parents, they got terminated. They got terminated early. They got an early buyout, and they were sent to the lake to go retire. And I saw that. My best friend, who was a catcher, one summer in June of 1979, we were playing catch. His dad comes up. He's kind of leaning over the steering wheel. We didn't know why. He gets out. There's a box that he carries from the back of his car to the front porch. His wife, embraces him. He drops the box. They hug. They're crying. I looked at Craig. I go, "What happened? Did somebody die?" He goes, "I don't know, but you better leave." Well, 2 days later, I found out that he'd been there for 39 years, and they let him go before his 40th year, and he would have got even an extra retirement. So I said to myself, because this guy had been my baseball coach my entire life and almost like my second father, and I said, for me, I go, I don't want to be in a corporate American environment where I work somewhere for 39 years and I'm going to be treated like that. Now, don't get me wrong, corporate America wasn't for me. It's for a lot of people, and that's great. And I never talk down about where people work because everyone's got to pay their bills, right? But I just wanted to embrace with you tonight that's been my journey since age 18, since 62. I've been in network marketing ever since. Now, I may have had a job with my dad at his printing company. I may have owned my own printing company, but I was always doing network marketing on the side somehow. I started out with direct mail, and I ran into a guy in a card deck. These were little postcards that came in the mail, cellophane wrapped with about 40 to 100 other cards. Some of you old timers may remember that. And they're gone now because the cost of postage went up so high. I met a gentleman that owned a card deck, and I called him and I said, "How much is a card?" Put in there. He goes, "It's $1,600, and it goes to 100,000 people." And I go, "Man, I don't have $1,600. There's no way." And so he goes, "Well, you own a printing company, right?" And he goes, I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Would you trade $1,600 in printing for this?" I go, "Heck yeah." So that's how I got involved into card deck marketing. And the owner of that card deck was a direct mail expert. So I became mentored by him, and I introduced him to network marketing. And he and I made millions of dollars together until I branched out on my own. Well, I was doing direct mail marketing, and of course, my brother-in-law invites me over for a Sunday barbecue and says, I want you to review. I know you're good in the business, and I want you to review a business opportunity for me. And I go, sure. So he gets all the way to the end, and he goes, the servicing corporation is the Amway Corporation. And I just sat there and I go, this is my brother-in-law. And I told him, I said, man, if you just told me at the beginning, I wouldn't have come over to your house. I go, I don't want to join Amway. He goes, why? I go, because all they do is warm marketing. They won't let you do direct mail. He goes, well, the guy that signed me up is making $100,000 a month. How much are you making? And so I sat there and I took it on the chin. I said, you know what? You're right. I said, I'll meet with him. I'm willing to learn from anybody. So then for the next 5 years, I became mentored by this gentleman that was an expert in warm marketing that was making $100,000 a month. So for me, I became an expert in the cold market, which was direct mail at the time. And now it's the internet and social media and buying leads and calling and texting and emailing those people. So I've become an expert in the cold market. And then I'm still an expert in the warm market, contacting family and friends. I don't say call your family and friends. I say mail them a postcard, at least every quarter, if not every month. Send them a text every quarter. And on my postcards that I still send out to my warm market, I put a picture of me and I put a picture of product. And I tell them about the product and I say, go here to my website. And now I'm changing my postcard up to saying, go here to my website. I've got 120, 100% organic products for you and your family to take a look at. I know you're putting something in and on your body that has harsh chemicals in it. And on that card, I'm listing all the chemicals that Michael has sent me on that little PDF, that little picture. And I go, check the labels and see if you're taking any of these products. I know I'm going to get calls from people that have bought products from me from 40 years. Some have been in and out of a program with me for 40 years. They just couldn't hack the business. The reason they couldn't hack the business because they never contacted anybody. Fear got them. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight. So that's my warm market technique. And then I've got to follow up those people. So I've got a whole system and a little PDF and a video training that I'm just going to be introducing to everyone here. And they can just watch it for free. And they can take what I'm using and go build their own business with it if they want to and add your own personality to it. Because I can mail my family and friends a postcard every month or every quarter, but I can't call them every month or every quarter, can I? Because they're going to go, man, I told you no 3 months in a row. Stop calling me. But if I mail a postcard and I go, look, here's what I'm doing. I'm excited about it. I know you know somebody who's into organic products. And take the test right now. The next time, this next 7 days, I'm going to have you do 2 tests tonight. I want you to write this down. The first test that you're going to do is I want you to go to the grocery store this next 7 days that you go to the grocery store. So today's Tuesday. So from today until next Tuesday, whatever grocery store or stores that you visit, I want you to write this down and keep a mental note. Put it on your cell phone, on your notes. Write the number of people that you see that are doing this. Here's a can of Planters peanuts, which I probably shouldn't be eating, but they're doing this, aren't they? They're reading what? The label. Why are they reading the label? They're wanting to see what's in it. There's never been a better time to build Essanté Organics than it has been today. Better than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and 20 years ago when they started. So if you've even been inactive for a while, or if you kind of just sat there and just been cashing a check, or if you're brand new tonight, there's never been a better time because people are checking labels. They're interested. 70%, you want to write this number down, 70% of all network marketers are what? Are they men? No. Men are too flighty. We get in and out, okay? We're all about the money. And if we don't make $1 million in the second month, we're out. Over 70% of all participants in a network marketing company are women. Now, do you think this is the second thing I want you to do at the grocery store? Besides counting on your phone, going 1, 2, 3, I saw 4. When I'm at the checkout counter, look around, there's going to be people looking at those. And they're buying organic tomato sauce instead of regular Del Monte tomato sauce. Del Monte's got organic as well, too. I want you to write down this number. How many of those people who read labels were men versus women? Right? Okay. Here's the second test I want you to do tonight. From Tuesday to the next Tuesday. How many of you go out there and check your mail every day like I do? Or do you check your mail once a month? No. And when I come in, I used to say to my wife, "Hey, did you get the mail today?" Or she would text me as she's driving up to the house. Text me, "Did you get the mail yet?" And I say no. So she'd get the mail. Every single day, getting the mail is an event in my household, in everybody's household in the world, at least 90%. So from the next 7 days that you check the mail, excluding Sundays, so that's next 6 days, I want you to do this. I want you to count the number of mailing pieces that you get in the mail. Okay. So I want you to put down mailing pieces and put the count down. The next thing I want you to do every single day for the next 7 days, I want you to write down the number of phone calls that you get from people who are asking you to buy a product or service or join an opportunity. The phone calls. Okay. Number 3, I want you to write down and keep track of for the next step. You're a marketer, right? You're a network marketer. You need to start keeping track of this stuff because it'll motivate you to get off your rear on the couch or stop procrastinating, going to bed early and watching a movie. And you'll have these stats running in your head and you go, I haven't done anything today. I got to go out and make a contact. I got to go to the grocery store. Okay. So number 1 was what? Go to the mailbox. Number 2 was what? You're going to check all the phone calls of someone that's offered a product or service to you, or they've called you with it. Hey, Robert, okay, I got this great product I want you to buy. Number 3 is text, which is increasing on my phone. The number of texts that you get, not for a loan or something else, but for some product or service, how many texts do you get? The number 4, how many emails did you get? Okay, that's going to be the big number. Unsolicited emails. So you've got emails, you've got text, you got phone calls, and you got mailing. So here's what's going to happen. I'm already going to tell you the category, but in case you want to jump to the end, but I want you to keep track of it yourself. Get a little notepad or put it on your phone and type it in there. And I want you to do this your own marketing study in-house. The number of emails will be the most. The number of texts will be number 2. Number 3 will be what? Phone calls. And number 4 will be postcards in the mail. So no longer is the mail junk mail. It's no mail. So you have no competition when you drop a postcard. Why do I drop a postcard instead of a letter? Well, it's a little bit less expensive, yes. But what do you have to do? Here's the other test, the final test you're going to do on your mail. And here's some mail that I got in today. I've already opened it up, but I'm going to show you an envelope. So I've got this mail, and okay, and it's got who it was from up here. I've already opened it up. It's who it's from. The other thing you're going to do when you go to your mailbox every day, I want you to take your mail. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Clutch it to your chest. Walk into your house, open the trash can, and I want you to throw the mail away without looking at it. And then I want you to go walking around, go, make dinner, watch a movie, empty the trash, get your kids to bed, get them to do their homework, jog, whatever you normally do. And I'm going to guarantee you within an hour, less than an hour, probably 5 minutes for most of you, you're going to go back and get that mail. You can't not look at the mail and just throw it away. But you can not look at an email and delete it, right? You can not listen to a voicemail and delete it, right? And you can definitely not click on a link in a text and delete it, correct? But you can't not read the mail, at least who it's from. And if it's a postcard, how many of you just look at a postcard and just throw it away? You got to read the card. You don't have to open up the envelope. I can tell what's junk mail, and so can you. So if I get an envelope and I think it's junk mail, I go, that's just junk mail. Somebody trying to get me to buy something. But if it's a postcard and it's got a friend of yours face on it, what are you going to do? Well, what are they doing? You're not going to throw your friend's face away, right? Well, unless you don't like them, right? But if you like a friend or you know him, you're going, well, what the heck is Robert up to now? Hey, and I'm going to give you guys all the wording to put on there and you adjust it to your own personality. But that's how I do more marketing, okay? Direct mail, and in person. Okay. That's how I get people to go out. I know all the stats so that I'm contacting people at least every quarter by email, by text, by phone, in some cases, not the phone, by texting. And I'll talk about the phone when you can and can't do it. That's your warm market business. And then when somebody responds and or doesn't respond, there's responses that I have for that, right? It's like if you get a voicemail, there's a different message you leave on voicemail than a live call. All of this stuff I've been studying and keeping stats on for 40 years. I've been mentored by a millionaire direct mail marketer. I've been directed by a guy that made over 2 million a year in warm marketing. So I know all their stuff. I know all their tricks. So I've compiled all them and I've gone off on my own. And I've created my own multi-million-dollar system, so much so on the internet. In 2001, we created an online system that had these techniques in them that in 18 months, we put in 80,000 auto ship orders at $155 each. 1.8 million people opted in, and 80,000 of those people came in on auto ship in 18 months. Okay. So and that's the largest downline that's ever been built on the internet alone that's ever happened. Yeah, I mean, I challenge you to find another company that has another system that's put in 80,000 paid auto ship people at 100 BV. And listen, it was 100 BV, but it was $155, just like 65% ratio. And that's a huge ratio, right? Usually it's 119, 129. It's $155 plus there was 8 bottles of liquid sea vegetation in it. And so that was another $15 to $20 tapped on top of it. People were spending $170 a month for 100 CV, and 80,000 of them came through in 18 months. So we know what we're doing. We put a system together online. We know what to do when it's offline. Okay. So these are the things that I'm going to be bringing to Essanté and to Michael and to JJ and to James, just saying, hey, here's my stuff. Here's what I've learned. And I'm going to share what I'm using it for in Essanté. And if you guys want to use it, great. If you want to change it, great. If you want to take it, not look at it and throw it in the trash, that's fine too. All right. So that's just what I'm bringing to the table, what I'm excited about, because I've never seen a time ever that I can go to somebody and say, look at your labels, not on your tomato soup, not on your noodles, not on the meat, but on the nutrition that you're putting in and the things you're using and putting on your body. And I have yet to find one person the last 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks or so, that I've said, hey, have you ever taken a 100% organic nutritional product that you've ingested in your body, liquid or pill or capsule? Nobody. And I had one guy said, does that even exist? And one guy said, that'd be like $100 a bottle, wouldn't it? Because that'd be so expensive. They throw in fillers. I know that. So people who take nutritional products don't even know that we exist. We are like a billboard in the Arizona desert somewhere, where maybe 5 people a month drive by. And all we've got to do, we don't need to change the products, we don't need to change the pricing, we don't change the websites, we don't need to change the catalog. All we got to do is get off our butts and go expose this to people and help them do the same in their warm market and in their cold market. Let them choose. You want steak or you want chicken tonight? What do you want? Which way you want to build the business, John? You want to do your local warm market? You want to do your cold market? Or do you want to do a little bit of both? And here's our training for that from a guy that's made millions of dollars in both techniques. And he's been vetted by the company, and the company's made changes where we put in the company's name, and I'm using it. And that's how I got you in, right? You got a postcard in the mail from me, right? Well, we're not going to call. I'm not calling my family and friends ever again. Okay, great. I understand that. So guys, that's the business in a nutshell in less than 30 minutes for me. And I'm excited to be building this business because of 120 products that are 100% organic, and that people read the labels, okay, of every product now that they get. And they're also our compensation plan, which I've never seen a company with 100% match. So here's two things we've got going. We have a 100% matching compensation plan that nobody has. And we have 120 products that are 100% organic that nobody has. So if you're not shouting this from the rooftops, give me the list of people that you know and let me shout to them and send them a postcard and sign them up. Okay? Because they're out there. They're looking for this. They're already looking at the labels, concerned about what they're putting in and on their body. They should be buying it from you, which is a friend. So Michael, I'll give it back to you and be happy to answer any questions that you guys have tonight.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome, guys. And you know what? One thing I forgot to tell you, and I think this is important because I respect Robert so much. His biggest he made in one venture, he made one in his career in network marketing. In 1 year, he made $1.7 million in that year. And over 22 years inside this space, he's made $15 million. This is a guy you want to listen to. And I'm going to tell you, he's right. You aren't going to find a company in this space that has what we have. We started out with one product. That was it. And that product was such a hit. It was on TV, Britney Spears, The Sopranos. I mean, I was all over the TV with this thing. We were selling millions and millions of Power Pops. And then we came out with the Kids Pops, which are vitamins on a lollipop for a kid, right? And we had the beat tabs since we've had the beat tabs since in the 90s, and we know how valuable that product is. But then we had to make a decision. What are we going to do at this point? Because no company's gonna last forever on 2 or 3 products. They just go off to the wayside, because you got to give people variety, and you have to give people things that they do every single solitary day, so you don't have to spend your time on trying to convince and convince and convince and convince. So we got into alkalizing, right? Because hey, we saw a demand for the education on alkalizing the body, creating an environment where no disease, no illness, no sickness, no virus, no wicked name that disease there, and not even fat can live in that. So we developed these, we went from that into developing the alkalizing products. And then in 2011, we were on the NBC network as being having the strongest alkalizing products in the world. Then what? Now what are we going to do now, right? So we decided, let's do organic living. Because everything, you know what? Take this back as far as grabbing your little Bibles out there and reading, in the book of Genesis, when everything was created, and now we make man and woman. And what does the Lord say? I gave you plants for food. All right. So we know plants are food, plants are energy, plants are life force. Plants have frequencies. Plants are biomimetic, meaning that you can get amino acids and proteins and everything that you need, minerals, all these from plants, but plants are also bioidentical, which means that simply stated that chlorophyll and blood have pretty much exactly the same makeup, to the point of in the World War I and World War II days, they ran out of blood supply for the soldiers. They were giving out. They had to do something. They were giving them chlorophyll and coconut water transfusions, and these people were living faster, recovering faster. They were just like full of life, right? So nobody's ever done it before in this space, and I'll tell you why. I'll be totally dead honest with you guys. The reason why you don't see that happening in this space is because we're in profit, but you know what? We don't compromise quality. We don't take in a lot of profit, compromise quality for profit. How does that say it? See, we don't do that. We know that this kind of a business can operate and be really successful and keep the company sustainable. We've already proved it for 20 years, but other companies in the space, they want to just make the stuff that you would find down at the dollar store and mark it up, because their excuse, is what? This is a really important point that I would like to, bring out to you guys, because I think this is really, really something here. And that is, if we can, I'm going to bring something up here. And I'm going to bring this up because this is how you should analyze every solitary thing that you're looking at when it comes to a company and a product. And I think this is the most important thing to look at, right? And that is when you're looking at any business, right? When you're looking at any business, I don't care what it is, you have to ask these two critical questions. They're really critical if you're going to make this type of place a business, right? And that is, number one, would anyone realistically, ever purchase the products or whatever it is you got? Would anybody realistically ever purchase that product if or the service, whatever, without participating in the income opportunity? So is there really a legitimate products? Well, guess what? We're in the green movement. We're in the green movement where you look outside that door, way off in the horizon. I see the neighbor with solar. I see the neighbor with an electric car. I see the neighbor with green sustainable housing, but he don't live there. You live here. Okay. Treat this like a temple. You're not going to put bad stuff in your car and think that's going to last a long time. You should be doing that here, right? So is the product really legitimate? Not just a product that's grossly overpriced, because they want to use it as an excuse for paying, large commissions checks out. You know what? You got to look really, really closely at the products. Well, how do we do that? Well, Mike, how do you look closely at the product? Simple. Labels don't lie. People do. Okay. So that may not mean somebody's lying to you, but I'll tell you what, if you go up the ladder, you're going to find out where that lie came from because it's right there in the back of the label. All you got to do is pick it up, turn it around, look at the ingredient deck, and I give you a flyer so you can look at the top 12 toxic, really toxic ingredients. They're not ingredients, they're toxic chemicals. And if they're in there, you throw it away, right? And the second question is, think about it like this. If all the recruiting stopped, if it all stopped today, would the company be able to pay monthly commissions month after month after month and years after years after years ahead? Basically stating, will people continue to purchase the product after the distributor customer relationship is over and the transaction is complete? So you know what? It's really, really simple. I mean, you're looking at this saying, will the customer, still buy the product for just the value of the product alone? All right. Because network marketing is a business. Somebody's calling me. I'm sorry. Network marketing is a teaching and a mentoring business that is based on relationships and team building, right? But it's based on that. It's not based on how big of a commission check somebody's making or when you enroll somebody. So you have to really think before you act, right? And you have to answer those questions, because if your answer is no, that nobody would, you got to convince and people aren't going to buy, you don't even have a company at that point. You just don't. And we've proved both of those things as a company because one, we see the retention so high. And secondly, because we've been around for 20 years. We've been around for 20 years. And what do we do as a company? We formulate we got products that were nominated for a Nobel Prize in gut health. There's that. 14 Green Peace Awards. Okay. Now I found something else out. In the leading research centers in the world, the hospitals, they use this product line for the protocol when they get in during the whole, the entire treatment. And then they get a piece of paper, which basically states, this is what you need to do exactly for the next year, but you should be doing it for the rest of your life. And guess whose name is on there? Essanté Organics. They're using all our products. And I witnessed that myself because I had to go down there. Okay, for 2 weeks, and I saw it, and I got pictures and interviews and everything. So I'm going to tell you what: if these products are good enough to take away to allow hospitals out of the country, 2 of the top 3 in the world, where they save people's lives, They don't do that in this in Western medicine. They don't do that. But they're saving people's lives. If they're good enough for those people and being told to use them for the rest of your life, how good do you think they are for you and your family? 100% chemical free, 100% toxic free, and all certified organic and wild crafted plants. Plants, that's it. You know what? And let me just say this much to you, because I think this is really important when you're at the end of the day, all right? And I think this is really important at the end of the day. And I'm going to tell you what, I've experienced something in the last 2 months. And I think about this every single night. I really do, before I go to bed. And this is what I think about. What did I do today? What did I eat? What did I drink? What did I put on top of me? Because at the end of the day, every little thing you do, either no matter how small or how big that was that you did it, you're either participating in your life or you're participating in your death. It's just that simple. And you get to make that choice, right? So taking care of you is your responsibility. We're an education company. Danny will tell you that. And that's what we do. We provide this education and research. We then offer the solutions to back up the education, because you're going to need those solutions. And then we allow you to make a decision. But I'll tell you this right here, in the history of network marketing, 165 years, no company, we're the only company that had more media attention than you could ever imagine. Extra TV, Access Hollywood, the doctors, we can go on and on and on. In the magazines, we don't purchase this. They write articles on us. Major hospitals around the world, the biggest research centers in the world, using the products for their clientele. I mean, think about that. And you guys got that in your hands. That's huge. And we're the only company in the history of this industry that has ever created every single solitary product, just plants. That's it. Plants, certified, organic, and wild crafted plants. And I can tell you that there's so many testimonies in here, but we've taken a little bit of time, and you've heard about Robert's success. You guys all get to work with him. He's right here. You can reach out. And now I'm going to turn it over to Daniel to end this up.
All right, thank you. You guys pretty much nailed it. If I was to add anything, it would be, like Michael mentioned earlier, there's no selling here. You got a lot of companies out there now with magic lotions, potions, pills, powders, patches, drinks. And you have to be a pretty good salesperson to get them just to try that particular product. Now, if you want true residual income for life, they need to stay on it for the rest of their lives. And I say, to have someone stay on a patch or on a magic drink or lotion or potion for life is pretty hard to do. But everyone takes a shower. We have ancillary products. I've been in this industry 42 years, and all my friends that make 6 figures from back in the day and haven't worked in the last 35, 40 years, all came from companies with ancillary products, just a fancy word for saying products people use every single day without thinking about it. 9 out of 10 people, no matter where you live in the world, whether you make 10 grand a year, 10 million a year, you wake up every morning, they stretch, and they get in the shower and they do their thing. People don't think about buying shower gel, shampoo, conditioner, lotion, toothpaste, deodorant, cleansers, moisturizers. They just don't. Now we have a wonderful line of, gut health. We got essential oils. We've got weight loss. We've got it all. But as far as I'm concerned, I really believe the ancillary products are going to make people very, very wealthy, because whether you like it or not, the world's going green. People are getting educated. Right now, about 9% of the world is green, meaning they use products in their shower, on their countertops, in their showers that are certified organic, toxic free. Instead of a bottle full of chemicals linked to serious disease and illness. Here's how simple the business is. It's as simple as A and B. A are all the products currently in people's homes, in their showers, on their countertops, with hundreds of chemicals in them. And not chemicals linked to skin or eye irritation. Chemicals linked to liver and kidney problems, Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer, reproductive problems in females. I can go on and on. Once people know that, now you have a choice to make for you and your family. Here's A, all those products currently in your home with hundreds of chemicals linked to serious disease and illness. And here's B, the same products with ingredients that are proven to nourish and heal the body. What are you going to use on you and your family? And I never had one person say, oh, Daniel, the ones with the chemicals like the, liver, kidney problems, Alzheimer's, dementia, can't, no, it's just that simple. And if I was to end with anything, so right now, again, 9% of the world's green. They project 7 to 9 years, that 9% is going to be about 95%, simply stating the world has been educated. Okay?
God
Don't
bless
use
you.
91% of the people out using these products isn't because they're stupid people. You're talking about CPAs, engineers, all types of people. They just don't know that the products they're using are so toxic and so dangerous. So it's just about educating. We don't sell nothing here. Everybody buys these products every month. They use them every single day on them and their loved ones. If they knew what we knew, they wouldn't be using what they're using. And if I was to end with something, I would end with timing and positioning, because timing and positioning are crucial when creating massive wealth. What I mean by timing is everyone that's on this Zoom tonight being here early in the beginning at Essanté Organics. Because in our industry, as you know, the masses fall underneath you. And the people that are here right now, one day will be those people, like my friends, getting a 6-figure check, every month for the rest of their lives if they work their business properly. And positioning, meaning being involved in a company that's in front of a way of life. I teach this all day long. I tell people, let this sink in. If you can get involved in a way of life before it becomes a way of life, you're a wealthy individual. And that's what you have right here. The world's going green, with or without you. You got 2 choices. You can sit back and watch the world go green, or you can make a lot of green from the world going green. So the choice is yours. So with that being said, I think you guys did a great job on covering everything else. I will throw it back to Michael.
One thing too, guys, I want to talk about is, look, a compensation plan like Robert was talking about, where you get straight commission on everything that happens down underneath you forever. And that's the way it should be. Because if you started something, whatever that is, how big your organization gets, you need to get rewarded, because it all happened because of you, not because of me or Dr. JJ or Danny or Linda or anybody else, because of you. So you get a percentage of everything that sells underneath you. And then we want you to really become vested and invested in people that you bring into the business, because it's all about respect. They're respecting you, you're respecting them. So guess what? We did something that no company's ever done before. We give you a 100% matching bonus check on those people. Well, what does that look like? Well, let's just make believe that, you got 10 people in the business that you personally brought in. And let's not play big numbers here. Let's just play regular numbers. They're making $250 a week. That's easy to do. Okay. So, they're making $250 a week. You're 10 people. And guess what? You're matching those checks every week. But at the end of the month, if you added up how much you just made, just on the check match alone, you just made an extra $10,000. That's huge. Absolutely huge. And then there's 4 other components to the compensation plan that you can learn just by reading about it. And they're just basic, awesome rewards. So, and, for the month of August still, right? What we're doing is, if you can bring in 4 people, just 4 people on a Go Green pack, which is, they start at $80 and they move up from there, depending upon what you want and how they're tailored to you. 4 people. And then you win a trip from our company. And we're not just going to send you all on one island with Robert, because, that might get a little crazy. So, we let you pick 23 different destinations, airfare, hotels, everything. It's all paid for. All you got to do is pack and go have fun and go take a break and breathe and get some, you know, vitamin SEA maybe, right? Some things like that. Hopefully you take the one that goes to Arizona, come in and see us, right? But, you know, it's 115 degrees here now, so I don't think that would be a good choice. So yes, I mean, you know what? I don't know what my prayer for you is is to really understand. I mean, from my brother and myself being very, very extremely successful in this industry, and we come from a very middle class American family. From, you know, my dad worked for the Wisconsin Gas Company. We didn't become rich like that. We got involved in this industry, and what happened to Robert is what happened to us, but not even in the same company. We're all in different companies, and it was huge. And you know what? And I see another gentleman sitting here that you know, that became a multimillionaire in this space. And you know, I might even ask him to speak. Nod your head if you would speak. You know who you are, because well, he's not nodding his head. So I'm going to say, you know what, John Macker, unmute yourself. You know what? Listen to this guy. Here's another guy that made big. You know, and it's not about making big money. It's about making whatever you want that to be. But here's another guy who is one of the top millionaires in another company. So unmute yourself, John. Give a little word of advice.
Well, thanks for that, Michael. I mean, talk about impromptu. I didn't expect that, but yeah, I mean, I've been in the industry for 30 years, and I know we've been on here for a minute, so I'll give you the helicopter version. When Robert was sharing his story about cutting his teeth in Amway, I did the same thing. I had just started in the car business in the early 90s, and I sold a car to a young family, and the guy called me back the next day and asked if I had ever looked at other ways of making money. And I said, well, yeah, I was open to other ways of making money. He came over and drew the Amway plan, and that was my first introduction into network marketing. And even though I never made any money, big money with that company, I mean, I got to a qualified direct, but what I did get was a lot of valuable training and experience from listening to the recommended tapes, reading the books. And I read a book that literally changed my life, and that was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I followed that up with How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And I gave myself a self-education in the people business, and excelled in my automotive career. And I was a sales manager for an Audi dealership when I met a guy named Bud Corkin, who said at the time, his story was that he was one of the fastest Hawaiian blue diamonds in new skin history. And I think that there's probably a little conflict to that story. I know you guys are in new skin, but anyways, he handed me a tape about him and his wife's new skin story. And a month later, he called me and asked if I'd be open to take a look at a new opportunity for a young company. That was my first introduction into the binary. And when I saw that I could just build two legs and become financially free, I started doing that. I was on three-way calls, you know, because I had just got my third pay cut at my job, and they wanted us to work more and pay us less. And that's pretty much the way it goes with every corporate job. And so I replaced my six-figure income in about 9 months, and I became a top 10 income earner in that company. That became the company's 31st millionaire, and you know, never looked back. And you know, this business can be very, very rewarding. And when I found Essanté, and I echo what Robert talked about, I've never seen a company in this industry where there's over 100 certified organic certificates from the USDA. I've never seen that before. This is the only company in the industry where those kind of products, those quality of products are available. The reason most companies don't do it is because it costs too much, and they are for profit. And you look at the compensation plan, there's no other compensation plan in the industry where you can earn up to 100% check match. And so you have the best products, the cleanest products. It's everything the body needs inside your body and on your body every single day. You have the best compensation plan in the industry. The industry is, there's a lot of uncertainty in the industry right now. You know, Rodan and Fields just went direct to consumer. There's been other companies that have done that as well. It's rumored on the streets that there's going to be other companies doing that as well. And so there's a lot of uncertainty in the industry. And when you can find a company that's proven itself for the last 20 years, that's never changed their plan, never sacrificed their integrity on a product formulation, And the timing, like Daniel said about everything's going green. I mean, there's no better timing to be positioned with a company right now to not only improve your health, but to improve your wealth for the rest of your years. I mean, there's no better retirement plan than to have your time and money together. That equals true freedom. So thanks for letting me speak, Michael. That's what I have to say.
Well, thank you so much. I knew I had to throw you under the bus sooner or later, so I thought tonight's a good night. So, guys, you know what? And the quality of the products. I mean, that's the key. The testimonies and stuff like that we got are just unbelievable. I know. You look at. I'll give you a really good one here because I don't. Joel, right? 10 months. Well, probably about in. Now it's a year. A year ago, Joelle comes and gets involved in our company, and she wanted to lose some weight and so on and so forth, and get alkaline and feel better and get off her medications. And she was on quite a few medications and so on and this whole story. And we said, okay, be really disciplined. Do this. We're going to give everybody's going to have a different protocol because everybody's different. So if there's 8 billion people in the world, we got to talk to them at one point in time and tell them, okay, look at this. This is how you take it. And don't waver from that, right? And now here we are 12 months later, and Joelle's lost over 100 pounds off all her medications. And you know what? That's huge. That's huge when you change somebody's life like that. And so with that, maybe I'll give this back to Connie. She can tell you about her experience with the products, and then we can make it a night. But I'm going to tell you guys something. Thursday night, this is really, really important this Thursday. So in 2 days, we're going to be doing a Zoom with Dr. Becky, and we're going to talk about something that's really unique, and that is the gut skin axis, okay, that truly exists. So you want to talk about aging and how all these things, that even starts in the gut. So we're gonna really get deep into this stuff on Thursday. So Thursday nights we do with the doctors and things like that. So you can't have better education, right? So Connie, I'll give it back to you to do the good nights.
I'm just going to say good night. Many of you have heard my testimony. I use these products for I own a cleaning business, and my gals love the products. And when they're sick, I'm just like, hey, you know, the bottle of sanitizer disinfectant, like squirt that in your mouth. If they have anything, I'm like, hey, you know that bottle that I put in your cleaning bag, use it. So that's all I'm going to say is use the products that we have. They're truly amazing. So bless everybody. I'm going to let Michael, do his little special blessing that he does
My
for us.
little
But
blessing is,
we're so glad you were here.
Yes, thank you guys all. If you have any questions, you guys, you can get a hold of us through any social media. On Facebook, we're on Facebook. You can call us. And pretty much everybody here has my phone number. And I think everybody has my phone number. So you can call me up and say, hey, I really want to talk to Robert, or I want to talk to, John or whatever. And yeah, so we can arrange those types of things. But my prayer for you tonight really is, look, I mean, really understand what you got in your hands here and take a look at your labels and do a comparison, and you're going to be in shock. Okay. So with that being said, God bless you. God bless your families. God bless your businesses. And we will see you here back on Thursday night. Watch my posts for Facebook, because I'm going to be doing this. And I'm going to tell you what, I can get loud. Everybody knows that. I can be very noisy, right? And I'm going to get really noisy because I was at a place for 2 weeks watching people get carried in and this and walking out disease free, right? And I'm going to tell you what those protocols are, because you can do them at your house. That's crazy. That's how unbelievable those things are. So I'm going to start doing those things on Zooms, and I can't put it on YouTube. I already did one, and they kicked me off. Think about that. They don't want anybody, even YouTube don't want you to get better, So I got to go on Rumble, which is just like YouTube, but it's not censored. And you'll still get the link. It looks just like it, but you can listen to it there or be here when I do it. So you all have a blessed evening. We took a little bit more time tonight, but I think it was very, very valuable. So thank you all for being here, and you all have a blessed evening.